Hi everyone, I'm Rohan Raj. I'm a risk management consultant operating out of Manila, Philippines. I generally operate in Southeast Asian countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, sometimes India as well. The message that I would like to deliver in this particular video is that there are times when I have sat in front of CISOs, CROs, and it seems that the consultants don't understand why the tender was released in the first place, why those multi-million dollar engagements to implement a risk management solution was agreed upon, and they get too involved or obsessed with the tool that they are trying to implement and completely let go of the principles and the frameworks that were the reason for the implementation or the implementation program. So let's take example of Orion Risk Framework as well as RMIT, which are prevalent in Malaysia, and we will try to understand how these frameworks fit together and how a consultant should be more of a architect of outcome and not simply a tool implementation expert. So imagine you are a consultant who is responding to a RFP for a Malaysian bank who is looking to implement a risk management solution. It is key to understand that risk is not only about IT. Risk is also about fraud and corruption. Risk can also be in other areas of operations. Specifically in Malaysian context, there is also Sharia non-compliance that the bank has to be careful with. So basically, in today's conversation, I'll simplify things and keep it in IT context, assuming that most of the people would be interested or have a IT background at least. So there are two things at play here. One is the standard, which is RMIT, and then there is a reporting mechanism, which is Orion. So let's take example of one of the RMIT's requirement, which is setup of a SOC and its 24 cross 7 monitoring operations. And then we will relate it to Orion reporting requirements, right? So a SOC has to be established at your bank, which will be up 24 cross 7, doing proactive monitoring, vulnerability management, threat intel, log collection, threat hunting, so on and so forth. Now imagine a event was triggered or an alert was detected, which seems malicious. Now we are going to the realm of Orion. So what is the reporting logic? So as soon as you detect something, assuming that you have a tool that can detect, the first question is, did it jeopardize security or violate any policy? If the answer is yes, then it becomes a cyber incident. As soon as it becomes a cyber incident, it has to be reported to BNM. As soon as it becomes a cyber incident, you have to calculate the actual loss. And the examples can be ransomware, downtime, defacement, specifically web defacement. These things are very specifically called out in the Orion document. I will attach the link to the document. Please feel free to look through it. And it has to be reported immediately. If the answer to the first question is no, then we talk about, was it a high risk alert that was detected or a high risk activity? Then we call it a cyber event, and a near miss potential loss calculation has to be done. Now think from a risk management team perspective. Somebody who has the burden of one, detection, second, classification, and third, reporting it to Orion. So all these systems have to work together in order to make my life easy as a risk management function head or a CISO or a CR. And the question the consultant must ask is that, will I be able to deliver this experience where they are 100% certain about detection, classification, and reporting? So imagine all these systems are working perfectly, meaning we are able to detect and we are able to classify. Now, the next question is about reporting. When it comes to reporting, one must ask the question, what all data is required by BNM? So let's look at the next slide. So we have to report three things: the event details, the impact, and the response. And sometimes this is where the consultant misses out on details. So the ability of system to track these items and report on it in a timely manner is most important. And this will make the life of the risk management team easy. If we are able to answer these three questions, detection, classification, and reporting, then that's the right kind of solution. As a consultant, you cannot limit yourself to just IT risk. And I have sat in meetings where I assume that they're IT people, but they were not IT people. They were from integrity and governance. They were from fraud and corruption. They were from insurance fraud. So, as a consultant, you must be holistic. And all these things are available in the ORAN framework. You don't have to look far. And that's where the opportunity lies. Thank you so much. And to be honest, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much complexity involved while recommending a solution in case of risk management that one must consider deep research, looking at the annual reports of that bank, understanding ORION requirements, understanding the RMIT framework, and what it really mandates in order to be able to consult a bank, especially in Malaysian context.